सहगन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुवृक्ष कृपा सिंधु भैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णा पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निते नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हरे कृष्णा। Hare Krishna. We welcome everyone to the Bhaktivedanta manner. So we will be discussing in the Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, verse number 9 today. Now this is like the daily series goes, like from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Generally we just sit down and verse by verse discuss Bhagavad Gita systematically. And this is a chapter name entitled Karma Yoga, or action in Krishna consciousness. Like so, and this is Karma Yoga, and the shloka verse number is 9. Verse goes like this. How many of you know Sanskrit and can repeat after? Little bit. Yagya arthat karmano anyatra. Okay, let's go slow, more slow. Yagya arthat कर्मणो अन्यत्र, यज्ञ अर्थात कर्मणो अन्यत्र, यज्ञ अर्थात कर्मणो अन्यत्र, यज्ञ अर्थात कर्मणो अन्यत्र, यज्ञ अर्थात कर्मणो अन्यत्र, लोको अयम कर्म बंधना, लोकोऽयं कर्म बंधना, लोकोऽयं कर्म बंधना, लोकोऽयं कर्म बंधना। तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय, तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय, तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय। मुक्त संग समाचर, मुक्त संग समाचर, मुक्त संग समाचर। Now since you are not having the whole verse, so it will be difficult to repeat, so I will chant for you. यज्ञ अर्थात कर्मणो अन्यत्र, लोकोऽयं कर्म बंधना, तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय, मुक्त संग समाचरा। So the word meanings goes like that. Yajna arthat, done only for the sake of Yajna or Vishnu. Karmana, than work. Anyatra, otherwise. Lokah, world. Ayam, this. Karma bandhana, bondage by work. Tat, of him. Artham, for the sake. Karma, work. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Mukta Sangha, liberated from association. Samachara, do perfectly. But this is a systematic, like basically the Sanskrit verse, and then this is like word to word, like meaning in English language, like that. And then the translation goes like, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in the material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage. So please try to repeat after me now. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, Work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage. So just a reference like why Krishna is saying this verse, because in the beginning of this chapter, Arjuna asked the question that, oh my dear Krishna, why are you engaging me in this ghastly warfare of like this battle between the Pandavas and Kaurava in the place known as Kurukshetra? So then Arjun is asking, oh Janardana, you know my heart. Janardana means one of the name of Krishna, means one who resides in the heart. So he is like constant companion in the heart. Oh Janardana, okay, sure. Why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work? So he says that, I will go to some forest or somewhere. I don't want to fight. And in other words, so Prabhupada explains in this purport, his divine guest Srila Prabhupada, he explains in the purport that Arjun expertly wanted to evade from his duty of fighting. Because Arjun thought that Krishna consciousness or bhakti means that, okay, let's go into some seclusion. Let's go somewhere alone and not, let's go out of this world and don't be in this world. And in that way, escape or evade the duty. The duty, he was a Kshatriya, he was administrative person, so his duty was to fight. But he wanted to evade it in the name of Krishna consciousness or in the name of spirituality. So that's what Srila Prabhupada mentioned. And then, Krishna then explains answer to the Arjuna's question. And then this verse comes that you do work as a sacrifice for Vishnu. In the in the previous verse, Krishna also emphasized that work you will have to do, because one cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. The senses are so engaged, the senses are, in the sense embedded in that one has to do work according to his own nature. It just, even if one goes to forest, still one will have to do some work to maintain his physical body. And some work needs to be done, otherwise we cannot even maintain our body. And again, Krishna says that, like, by force, one will be dragged to work. Even if one goes, okay, I will not speak, I will not speak, I will not speak. But then somewhere he or she will have to speak. So it doesn't work in that way, that going into seclusion or closing the eyes, closing the ears, closing the every senses and not being in that way, not doing the active life. So Srila Prabhupada is having this purport. Those who have Bhagavad Gita, they can take out the Bhagavad Gita on their smartphones or wherever, those who are watching online. So this is 3.9, we are reading purport now. Third chapter, verse number 9, and purport goes like this. Since one has to work even for the maintenance, simple maintenance of the body, the prescribed duties of a particular social position and quality are so made that the purpose can be fulfilled. Yajna means Lord Vishnu or sacrificial performances. All sacrificial performances also are meant for satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. The Vedas enjoins Yajna Vahi Vishnu. In other words, the same purpose is served whether one performs prescribed yajna or directly serves Lord Vishnu. Krishna consciousness is therefore performance of yajna as it is prescribed in this verse. So we will continue reading. So just a matter of fact, how many of you have Bhagavad Gita in your home, or like you read Bhagavad Gita regularly? Read? Okay. And do you have Bhagavad Gita in your smartphones also? So if you have, then you can take it out. It will help us. So this is like we are reading the purport. Like so. Got it? Yeah. Okay. 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 If it's not there, then leave it. If you have, then take it out. So the Vanashram institution also aims at purifying Lord Vishnu, Varnashram charvitam purushena parapuman Vishnu aradhyate. So this is the Prabhupada is explaining in this purport the different names of are given of that Yagya means Lord Vishnu. So another name of Lord Vishnu is Yagya. Similarly, if we find in the Vedic scriptures there are many names of Lord Vishnu. One name is Yagyapati, one who is the husband of the, in one sense, like one who is the master of the Yagya. Then there is Yagya Book, means like he's the enjoyer of Yagya. Then there is again another word coming for Lord Vishnu, what? Yagya Vahi Vishnu. It's like it's coming here. That the Vishnu, I mean, if you I want to know, okay, what's Yagya? What's the sacrifice? So Yagya means Vishnu. And then another place, the name of the Lord Vishnu comes is like Yagya Eshwar, Yagya Ishwar, who is the master of the Yagya. So if we see all the Yagyas which are being done technically, so the master and enjoyer is Krishna or Vishnu, like that. So uh, it's like being any yagya. Have you ever been seen a practically a yagya going on in like all this havan and everything going on? Has anybody experienced stuff like that? Well, so you see that then they invite the different demigods and then they invite the Supreme Lord Vishnu there. So basically Vishnu is the enjoyer of yagya, whether it is being done in a form of a sacrificial arena or whether it's being done in other forms like. So and here Prabhupada and Krishna are like making the point that the whole life has to be for the pleasure of Vishnu. The whole life has to be for the satisfaction of Vishnu. That is what is meant by yagya. So if a brahmana is doing yagya, om swaha, 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 and if somebody else is working on behalf of Krishna or for the pleasure of Krishna, then that is equivalent in a way. For example, if we have to study or if we have to go for work, if we do it for the pleasure of Krishna or Vishnu, then that is like equivalent in a way. So the main crux is to please the Lord. So then here the point is being made that the Varnashram institution also aims at satisfying Vishnu. Who knows about Varnashram? Do you have any idea about what this word Varnashram is there? Any ideas, any thoughts what this word Varnashram is there or what's, have you heard it before? Okay. So any other thoughts? Yeah. Yeah. So can you please explain for others like, okay, how the society is divided? What are the different varnas and ashramas? Like that. So this is like the any human form of civilization. Like if we may have different civilizations like that, but the test is that if it's how it's progressive and advancing is that it is systematically divided into these four social positions and four spiritual positions. The four social positions being one Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. In the more contemporary sense, you can say that there are in society there are some intellectual class of men, those who are really intellectual like scientists, philosophers, or other like those who can go really deep into the subject matters, and so they are like intellectual class, in other words brahmana class. And there is like a kshatriya class, which is like more like an administrative class who look after the government and the rules and regulations and like that, how to rule the city or place, whatever, like that. And then there is a third class known as mercantile class, who looks after more the what do you say like commerce, in the sense like cow protection, banking, like that. Hare Krishna, welcome. So that, and the fourth class is the laborer class, who practically doesn't have much intelligence, or Shudra class who to like do things on their own. For example, mercantile class is like having business on their own intelligence. But this laborer class is not having much intelligence, so they just help the other three section of the society. So Srila Prabhupada is mentioning the point that in whichever, I mean to say, like social position one is, the object is to satisfy Supreme Lord. Let's say somebody is to say it in more layman language, whether one is student, whether one is whether one is working as an administrator, whether one is working as a intellectual researcher, in any way, or whether one is simply helping other classes. The aim is to satisfy Lord Vishnu by our the aim is to please Krishna by our work. And but how does it happen? Like in a practical sense, it's like it's like that we are working on whatever platform we are without having the sense of proprietorship. This will be explained further. Like for example, a banker or a like cashier or a cashier in a bank may count, I mean, thousands of pounds, but for whom he is counting? For himself? For the bank. So in the sense like he is doing the work, but he is doing for whom? For the bank. So in that way, but let's say if he thinks, okay, no, today we have got thousands of pounds, so I have got thousands. Let me keep some £100 in my pocket. So will he be? Is he entitled to do so? And let's say if he ends up doing that, then what happens? He will be sent to the prison. He will be thrown out of the job, and like that, he will lose his job. So it's something like that, like the being free from the sense of proprietorship. So here Krishna is saying that you perform these your prescribed duties for the satisfaction of me, who is Vishnu. So the same way like we perform, any banker performs, any cashier does the things, is the counts cash for the satisfaction of the bank. And the whole idea is that this belongs to the bank. So this is the one example, and after I will be asking some reflections from you and some questions from you. So please be with me. So that, and the second example is that a soldier may go on may fight on the behalf of the country. Let's say some army man kills hundreds and hundreds of people on the war field. Then will he be punished for killing those people? Will he be punished? What? In fact, he will be rewarded that he kills so many people of the enemy, and then he just slaps some person on the road. Now, so then will he be punished? Because he crossed his boundary. This is not his boundary. I mean, his boundary is to kill on behalf of the country or on behalf of the state, but he cannot abuse that for his own pleasure. So same way Krishna is saying that if you want to remain free from the bondage, then do it for my pleasure. And if you do it for your own sense gratification, then it will be cause of your bondage. It will bind you. The same way the man who just slaps a boy on the field just for his own pleasure, he will be bound. So this is like that. Jai Shri Radha Gokulananda ki Jai, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Jai. So here Krishna is basically giving us a complete new paradigm. How many of you have studied economics or know the law of scarcity in the economics? Anybody economics students? Yeah. Okay. Hi Krishna. Welcome. So what's the basic premise of the economics? Like the basic rule of the economics? Supply demand. And what's beneath that? I mean, the resources are scarce. Resources are limited. And that's how the demand and supply comes into picture. Let's say if the resources are abundant, then there is no concept of demand supply will come. So the basic funda of modern economy is that the resources are scarce, and therefore we have to actually grab the thing. We have to actually get the thing. That's the basic funda of the modern economic theory. And we will study basically in this shloka and the next shloka the Krishna conscious economy, the economy which is given by the Supreme Lord, economic model which is given by the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord Krishna, he knows our situation, and he has really made our life easy by giving the law of abundance instead of law of scarcity. law of scarcity says that all the resources are scarce, money is scarce, land is limited, everything is limited. It goes like that. So it comes from the incompleteness, and that's how the modern so therefore, like, economy is based on greed. It's based on greed, that okay, like, and then what ends up, rich becomes richer, poor becomes poorer. That's the how it technically works. But Krishna is here saying in this verse and the next verse the law of abundance, that if we work for the satisfaction of for the Vishnu, then automatically there will be supplies. I mean, we just have to work for his pleasure, and then the supplies will be there. It's not that like we have to like that it's scarce and then we have to grab it, and we have to actually be the survival of the fittest. Like it goes like, okay, who will be the best one will go, will survive and go up the ladder. It's not like that. So when we will continue reading like Prabhupada's purport, second paragraph, like those who have, they can take it out. You have it now? So we are reading the second paragraph. Can you read it for me, please? Yeah.
Therefore, one has to work for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Any other work done in this material world will be a cause of bondage, for both good and evil work have their reactions, and any reaction binds the performer. Therefore, one has to work in Krishna consciousness to satisfy Krishna or Vishnu, and while performing such activities, one is in a liberated stage. This is the great art of doing work, and in the beginning, this process requires very expert guidance.
Yes, that's for that. We will continue. So here it's being said that this is the great art of doing work. So it's technically being termed in the Sanskrit language as yoga karmasu kaushlam, that one can do work in very various ways. But when one does work in this way, in which Krishna is saying here, then I mean we don't become bound by the results, and rather we uh, ascend more and more to the godly life, or the kingdom of God, and we become more and more free, liberated from our like material limitations. When we follow this formula which is given by Krishna, this great art of doing work. So this great art of doing work requires expert guidance. Because you see, Arjun is such a like highly advanced personality to such an extent. I mean, his intelligence, his prowess, everything is beyond our comprehension practically. I mean, he was like the world-renowned Gandiv Dhardi Arjuna. He was so high in prowess, and he was so alert in everything that how he passed the Dronacharya's test by piercing the eye of the sparrow. I mean, he was so focused, so determined. And so, even that Arjuna is saying in the second verse of this chapter, "Oh, my dear Krishna, my intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions." So, if Arjuna is sometimes bewildered, rather how to perform action, then what does it have? What is to be said about us? So, therefore, this process requires expert guidance from the expert spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, who can help us navigate this. Like, okay, how to mold our life practically, day to day, in such a way that our life is an offering for Krishna. That when we wake up and from the time we wake up and from the time we go to sleep, it's in a loving offering to Krishna. It's in a loving devotion to Krishna. I mean, the energy behind whatever we do, whether we go for studies, whether we go for a job, whether we perform our business, whether we work as a housewife, whether we cook, whether we go for socializing, or we do anything in this world, but the energy behind the guiding principle is the pleasure and smile of Krishna, in a sense, in that sense. So how to mold our daily life in such a way, and for that we requires the help of a spiritual master who help us navigate this thing. So therefore, Bhagavad Gita is like you can say it's like a art of living. So it's like a life coaching, how to live our life day by day, moment by moment, and we grow into a fullness and blossom. Actually, we blossom day by day, moment by moment in our life. So this process requires guidance, expert guidance. So that guidance basically means, in a way, the art to live in this world, just like the lotus is there in the water, but it is not being touched by the water. So being living in this world, but not being, I mean, too much disturbed by this world's fluctuations, and being focused on our goal, that requires expert guidance. Can you please continue reading, please?
One should therefore act very diligently under the expert guidance of a devotee of Lord Krishna or under the direct instruction of Lord Krishna himself, under whom Arjuna had the opportunity to work. Nothing should be performed for sense gratification, but everything should be done for the satisfaction of Krishna. This practice will not only save one from the reaction of work, but also gradually elevate one to transcendental loving service of the Lord, which alone can raise one to the kingdom of God.
Yeah, thank you. So, like that. So here Prabhupada is saying one should therefore act very diligently under the expert guidance of a devotee of Lord Krishna. How many of you have seen Lord Krishna directly, like Arjun was seeing it on the battlefield? So we are not, oh really. So we are not that fortunate like Arjun. So Arjun was fortunate to have Krishna directly sitting on his chariot, and Krishna was saying Bhagavad Gita to him. So, however, but we are not that fortunate to have directly see Krishna face to face. But if we work in this principle under the expert guidance of a devotee of Lord Krishna, then the same benefit we can have as Arjun had while following Krishna's instruction on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. I mean, as I reflect back, when I just first came in contact with Bhagavad Gita, at that time I was like proud enough. I was proud, and I was thinking, okay, this Bhagavad Gita is being spoken by the Krishna to Arjun. Now, who is this? His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This seems to be some Swami. Why should I hear him? So I will read only the verse of the Bhagavad Gita and only the translation. I won't read the purport because this seems to be what he is speaking. This was back in 2009. So at that time I was proud enough. So I had the same thing. Okay, I want to have that direct talk with the Krishna. Okay, what Krishna is saying. And then I was there, somebody gave me Bhagavad Gita, and I was back to him, that person, in 2 days, saying that I have read the whole Bhagavad Gita. And he was shocked. What? You read 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita in 2 days? I said, yes. He said, how did you read it? I said, I read the verse and the translation, I didn't read the purport. So let's say if we remove the purport, then the whole Bhagavad Gita is this much only. So then I was saying like that. So then this principle was explained to me at that time. So I was fortunate enough to have a devotee of Lord Krishna there who didn't have any ulterior motive, who didn't have anything to take from me, who was there simply to help me and guide me on my path of spirituality. He didn't have he didn't wanted anything from me. He wanted me to be happy. So therefore he didn't flatter me when I said that I read the Bhagavad Gita in 2 days. Since he didn't have any ulterior motive, since he didn't have any agenda, so he was confident enough to say that I was wrong. And the simplicity and the purity with which he spoke, I took it, and then he told me, now I tell you another formula to read Bhagavad Gita. You don't go to the verse because you have already messed up with the verses. You just go to the introduction and you read introduction 5 times before going to the verse. I said, okay. So this is why I mean to say what do you say? Punishment? Is this the punishment for reading Bhagavad Gita like that? So you said, no, it's not punishment. Basically, if you will read the introduction 5 times, then you will actually understand what Bhagavad Gita is. So there's an introduction to the Bhagavad Gita, which Prabhupada gave in the form of lecture. So one may think that sometimes people want things quickly, and they take the formula that, okay, I will directly approach Krishna, I want to approach Krishna directly. But things don't work that way even in this world, what to speak of in the spirituality. Even in this world, it cannot happen that you can directly approach a big person. Let's say if you want to see Prime Minister of India or UK, you cannot just go like that. I mean, so there's like a proper channel and process through which we go to the the servant of the Lord, bona fide servant of the Lord. And this requires this requires expert guidance of a devotee of Lord Krishna, and so Arjun had Krishna, and if we come into the shelter of a devotee of Lord Krishna like His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who actually spread this movement all over the world in just 12 years of span, like and made more than 108 temples around the world. So, so then if we have such sort of like expert devotee and his words, then we should take shelter of the ad. And the last point which is there is that beautiful thing is that this practice will not only save one from the reaction of work, but also elevate one to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So there Srila Prabhupada in the one of the lectures being given on this verse, Srila Prabhupada emphasizes the Sankirtan Yajna. Like, okay, we are saying that we should perform yajna for the satisfaction of the Lord Vishnu. But what that yajna is? So Srila Prabhupada emphasizes that in this age, particularly in the age of Kali, we don't have that much paraphernalia in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, which is the in this modern like times, we don't have that much paraphernalia to perform this yajna and do swaha swaha. So the yajna is being mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita itself by the Krishna, that yajna nam jap yajyo asmi. That if one wants to perform yajna, then one can perform what? One can do a chanting of the holy names of the Lord on the beats or without the beats. Best is if we do it on the beats. So that is like Krishna is himself saying that such yajnas I am. So it's one of the best yajnas. And then to have even more benefit, it's the Sankirtan Yajna. That means when people come together, just like we have come together, how many of we are here? Around 5, 10 people and many online. So and then when we come together, we sit down, we clap our hands and chant like Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that's the reason you see that so many Rath Yatras are being organized, or so many Sankirtans are being organized, whether in temple or outside a temple. We see devotees with this cymbals, kartals, which is technically known as then drums, and then they do kirtan. Why do they do? They do because this is the sacrifice being recommended in this age. So when we chant for the pleasure of the Lord. We try to please the Lord Krishna, and Krishna is a lovable God, and he loves music, he loves dance, Krishna. So when Krishna hears this name being chanted by the devotees out of love, affection, and then Krishna becomes pleased. And that is a simple form of yajna, which is known as Nam Sankirtan in this age. Just like in the traditional yajna, with every swaha, with every oblation in the fire, what is being said? Idam Krishnaya, idam namama. This is a Sanskrit term being said there. That this belongs to Krishna, this belongs to Vishnu, this doesn't belong to me. So that helps us to dovetail our attachment from that particular thing to Lord. For example, I'm too much attached to my body. Then we say, Idam Krishna, idam namama. This body belongs to Lord, it doesn't belong to me. I'm too much attached to my home. This home belongs to Krishna, it doesn't belong to me. I'm too much attached to my spouse. My spouse belongs to Krishna, it doesn't belong to me. So in that way, whatever thing we are too much attached, we just offer it to Krishna. This is the traditional way of performing yajna. But when we chant Hare Krishna like this, that the mantra itself means, oh my Lord, I belong to you, kindly engage me in your loving service. Kindly engage me in your loving service. So Srila Prabhupada, before ISKCON was established, he was publishing some books, some articles in the magazine known as Back to Godhead. He was publishing some articles in a paperback, and later on it was published in the form of magazine known as Back to Godhead. So there Srila Prabhupada practically gave, on the authority of the Vedic scriptures, Sankirtan Yajna is the solution to all the problems of the world. For example, like if there is a war going on, or if there is like anything going on, like that famine is going on, or any mental or physical distress or natural calamity is there. Srila Prabhupada scientifically explained that in that articles that how Sankirtan is the solution of everything. How by performing Sankirtan, we create an auspiciousness in our life and in the environment around us. So therefore, we see many times, like even in the COVID times or even in current times, like devotees come together. They perform these kirtan retreats, kirtan sanghas like that, and and in that way, what they do, they bring auspiciousness to the planet. They bring auspiciousness to the planet for the Pacific, and in that way, the demoniac forces gets curtailed. Like the negativity get curtailed, all negativity goes away. So Srila Prabhupada was establishing how, and this Sankirtan is the solution of everything. And it doesn't require rocket science. Even if one is not a good singer, one can come and, I mean, that's it. I mean, it's not for showing off to the people. One can, like, for example, how many of you can claim to be good singer? Who is a good singer here? Okay. But do we sometimes sing in the bathroom or something sometimes like that? So it doesn't require rocket science. Krishna is the Bhavakrai Janardana. Krishna is not after your vocal cord, that how melodious you can sing. If somebody is a good singer, like it's like generally because the voice is very sweet or melody or like a cuckoo voice is there, or that is just a vocal cord. That and but the main thing is our loving sentiments behind that, loving sentiments behind that, in which we call to the Lord, and then in that way anyone can sing. Anyone can sing, and if they won't want to sing in the public, then they can sing in the home. Just two, four of us gather together in our homes or in our offices. I mean, as the time permits, or in the way in a break or something, like in the car, anywhere we can do Sankirtan Yajna. Srila Prabhupada made it. Srila Prabhupada said that Krishna has made it so easy. Because Krishna, as a Supreme Father, really, really wants us to be happy. So he had made it very simple. And Krishna came in the form of Lord Chaitanya, like the form is there. So he had made it very easy. That we just simply chant Hare Krishna, just clap our hands, two people, four people. If not, if even one can, if we are alone, then also we can sing. So in that way, this is the Sankirtan Yajna, and another aspect of this is the Prasadam distribution. We engage our tongue in honoring the prasad, which is a sanctified food, which is the food which is offered to Krishna, and then it becomes sanctified. So it's a pure food, prasad of the pure food. So when we take that prasad, we engage our tongue in the service of Krishna, and in that way, we perform yajna. So everything. So to summarize, basically, Krishna is saying in this verse that you perform yajna, this great art of doing work. Yoga karmasu kaushlam, Krishna is giving. And then fill in the blanks. Now I will ask you one point. Okay, summarize what happened, what I spoke from the past 45 minutes. Any point you liked, or you you got from the, like, whatever we discussed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the importance of seeking guidance from a bona fide spiritual master and seeking guidance. This is one of the principle, because to perform yajna and how to do work and how to mold our life requires the life coaching and so approaching a bona fide spiritual master and seeking guidance. So, okay, Babu, before you go, any one point, just like one point. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, doing everything for the pleasure of Krishna and having our consciousness, our like energy behind that in that way. And of course, spiritual master helps, bona fide devotee, a devotee of Lord Krishna helps us to practically also channelize our life, navigate our life in that way. So, your point, Hare Krishna.
So whatever work we perform, duties that we have, we should do it as an offering to Krishna, whether it's our material duties
Hmm.
or spiritually.
offer it as a devotion to Krishna. We chant the holy names, and we do it as an offering to Krishna. Now to elaborate, let's say if one is studying, then the consciousness behind is that I'm studying for Krishna, and I will use this whatever knowledge I have acquired by studying whatever subject in the service of Krishna. For example, when I was doing my chartered accountancy, I was doing, I mean, I completed that, and my inspiration behind this was like because my one of my mentor told that if you will be like a chartered accountant and if you will preach, then it will have more effect than if you preach without that. In the sense, the message will be the same, but the point is that because people like to hear from these type of people, so that will attract more people. Ultimately, the efficacy of a message it depends upon the purity of the candidate. So it doesn't have to do anything with the purity, but the idea is that it will help you in the spreading the message because we will have more audience we can touch. So like that. So whatever studies we are doing, we will use that in the service of Krishna. Whatever money we are earning, we offer some as a part of offering to Krishna, like that. Whatever we eat, we offer to Krishna. And in any way, like whatever role we are playing in our life, as a husband, as a wife, or as son or daughter, or as a father, a mother. So that role is an offering to Krishna in a way, free from the sense of proprietorship and free, like, okay, Krishna, I am playing this role, and you have entrusted this person to be my son. So I am raising him and doing all my duty as an offering to you. So in that way, when we do it as an offering to Krishna, then even if there are some difficulties on the path, we have inspiration because we are doing on the behalf of Krishna, we are doing as an offering to Krishna, then we continue to do our duty. Let's say if the child is not listening to us or if he is not going according to our wish or something like that, then we have a good reason to tolerate that this is being done as a duty to Krishna, as an offering to Krishna. So even if there's difficulty, I will continue doing it. I will not run away from my duty. And when we do our best as an offering, we will do our best, whatever we can do. Yes, your turn. Any point? Yeah. 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 So work we have to do. Even to maintain our body, you will have to do work. So better. So Krishna is saying that you will have to do work. I mean, you cannot run away from the work. So do work for me as an offering to Krishna. Like for example, we have to maintain our body. We have to do so much thing. It's like maintaining a like whole empire in a sense. We wake up in the morning, brush our teeth, then we so much needs to be done in life to just to maintain a body. And we have to wash 2 to 3 times a day, or I mean, have a particular set of clothes. It's like a, I mean, if you just analyze, it's like a more like an empire in the way to maintain a simple body, like in the sense to help it function in a right way. Your point? Any point?
Association is really important. So keeping association with other people who are devotees, that helps me on my spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Keeping in touch.
Yeah. So keeping in touch with the association of devotees, because when we come in the association of devotees, then we get the chance to hear this, to hear this Bhagavad Gita, to actually discuss this Bhagavad Gita like that. So keeping association is important. Yeah. And then we just like we are in association, and in the few minutes from now, 2 to 3 minutes, we will be having the wonderful arti of the lordships. Radha Gokulananda will give darshan, and there will be Gaur arti. And keeping in association with the devotees, then we get to chant Hare Krishna, we get to do the yajna. Otherwise, in the home or in anywhere else, we can do so many other works. So that's association is there. The devotee will remind you, Prabhu, say Hare Krishna, like that, or like something like that. Devotee will remind you to see the, I mean, to have a penetrating vision in the life, so as to distinguish the goal of life from the problems of the life. Life will be full of the problems, but a devotee will remind us, or the association will remind us that okay, this problem is there, but this problem is not always. The ups and downs are there in the life, but that is not always. But so have a focus on the goal, that is to act for the pleasure of Lord. Like, So that so therefore association is very important. Do we have 2 minutes. Do we have anything? I know that you came late. Anything to share, or any question? Any takeaway from our discussion? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. You would like to say something? Okay. So we will be now having our Aarti ceremony, and so let's get up, and Prabhu will help us in that. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Hare Krishna.
श्री श्री राधा गोकुल नंद की, श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, जय जय गौराचंदे आरती का शोभा। Shanka bhaje, Ganga bhaje, Madhu Madhu Madhur bhaje. Madhur 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 bhaje. Madhur 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 bhaje. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Bahu koti chandra jili, vadana ujvala. Gala desi banamala, kore jalamala. Deva Narada, Bhakti Vinod Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Shri Radha Gokulanand ki, Shri Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Shri Gauranitai ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Permanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Namaste Shingaya. Namaste Pralada Lada Daye. Yato yato yami tato nishingo. Bahi nishingo ridaye nishingo. Bahi nishingo ridaye nishingo. Shringadev Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. All glory to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Yang kali dia tak ada.